It's just quite weird. Some people love their dogs more than they love themselves, which I find rather amusing. Treating their dogs like they're babies. Good afternoon, this is Eldad, Amara. As you can see from the video I just shown, dog walking is very popular in the UK. I was just filming from an undisclosed location. Today I want to talk about the parameters between animals and human beings as being blurred. Have you ever thought that some illnesses and diseases that human beings pick up may be caused from the animals? For example, worms, fleas, ticks, lice, fungal infections. Have you ever thought that you may be picking these up from your animals? And your kids may be picking these up from your animals and transferring this to other kids in school. When I was younger, I always used to ask women who I was going to potentially date whether they had animals. And they say, yeah. I said, do you have a cat or dog? And they say, yes. Why do you ask? And I said, let me finish my line of questioning and then I'll tell you why. So, I'll say, does your cat or dog, do you allow them to get on your kitchen work surfaces? They say yes. Or sometimes I pick my cat up and I put her onto the kitchen worktop and let her eat her food from there. I said, okay. Do you let your animal eat from your plates, waste food that you've left? Oh yeah. I do that quite often. My dog, she often licks my plate clean, and also my bowl, and also my cup. It saves me having to do the washing up later on. The next thing I'd ask, do you allow your dog to go and sit on the settee with you, or your cat? And they say yes or no. I say, so you let your dog get on the settee with you and cuddle up next to you? Oh yes, I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you allow your dog to get in bed with you and sleep in your bed? Yes. The dog keeps me nice and warm. In actual fact, we're transferring energy to and from each other. So you allow your dog to get in your bed? Oh yes, I don't see anything wrong with that. Do you allow your dog to lick your face? Again, I don't see anything wrong with that. Yes, my dog often licks my face and licks my kid's face as well. That sort of thing. So you allow that then? And then next thing you're kissing your husband, you got all saliva all over your mouth. Yeah? And your kids got saliva all over their mouth and you're kissing them. Now this is the reason why I'm asking you these questions. Do you think that you may be picking up something from your dog or your cat and transferring it to your kids, or vice versa? Oh, I never really thought about that. Well, do you ever see your dog sometimes pick up other dogs' crap, pick up other dogs' feces and eat it? Or your dog's licking his balls? Or licking the balls of another dog? Or the vagina of another dog? Or vomiting on the ground and then eating the vomit back up? Crawling through hedges? Rolling around in the grass? Don't you think that these animals, especially those with longer fur as well, may be picking up fleas, ticks, lice, and then because you've got such proximity between you and the animal, that these ticks or fleas have been transferred to you and then from you to your kids. I could remember years and years ago, as a youth worker, there was a lady, I won't call her name, but our youth club was closed for maintenance. So she said, you know what, all the staff, we can go back to my place and we can have our meeting there. So we went back to her place, went into the kitchen, and their cat was crawling on the kitchen worktop, and you could see the cat's paws. So she started to make cheese sandwiches on the worktop, and she didn't bother to wipe the counter down or anything. She was buttering up the sandwiches, putting cheese on it, then cutting the sandwiches in half, putting them on to plates. So anyway, when she gave members of staff the plate of sandwiches, I looked at my sandwich and there was cat paws actually on the outside of the sandwich, where the cat had been crawling on the worktop. When I opened up the sandwich, and my friend next to me, Terry, he opened his sandwich and we both looked and there's cat hairs in the sandwich. Cat hairs in the sandwich. I said, no, Ja, no Rasta, I'm not going to eat the sandwich. No way. There's one thing my grandmother always used to say to me from when I was a kid. Mind where you eat. And mind where you eating from. Mind where you eat. And mind who you're eating from. That was a good lesson my grandmother taught me. Because I'm always very careful about where I eat and who I'm eating from. You see, people treat their animals like little babies. Like little fur babies. I think that's what they call them now. Fur babies. They're treating their animals like little kids. They're getting in bed with them, lying next to them, yeah, on the settee and all that sort of thing. And these animals might be transferring things like fleas and lice onto them. That's onto the owners. There's two programs, one's called the Dog Whisperer, and the other one, if I can remember, is called the Dogs Behaving Badly. Yeah, Dogs Behaving Very Badly, by a guy called Graham Hall. See, a lot of bad behaviour by dogs are picked up from their owners allowing them to have too much of their own way. They allow their dogs to have too much of their own ways. And that's why the dog starts developing behavioural problems and patterns. There should be a clear line of demarcation between your animals and yourselves. They need to have certain rules. See, whilst your dogs are licking other dogs' privates, eating other dogs' feces and their own feces, and it has a knock-on effect, because then these children go to school and they pass on things like fleas, ticks onto other children, and ringworm and roundworms.